Alright, social clubbers, we got to start this one off with a bit of a victory lap, because about a year ago, Hale and I did an episode over how NFL streaming was ruining football, and we went completely off about how ridiculous it's gotten just to watch the sport. Having to have multiple subscriptions, rising subscription prices, still having ads to watch throughout all of this. I mean, it ultimately was just a system that wasn't going to last, and we knew it's something that felt off about it the whole time. Now fast forward to today, the United States Department of Justice is officially investigating the NFL over potential antitrust violations in their TV and streaming deals. So basically what we were causing a whole lot of hoopla about last year, yeah, they're finally looking into that. Now I won't say we were, ahead of the curve, because I think this is the culmination of viewers and streamers, subscribers everywhere finally having enough frustration to actually have some action put into place, but we were there. So in absolute congratulatory manner today, I want to welcome you back to the social club where everybody's got a voice. I'm your host, Serg. Today we will be unpacking this news from the Department of Justice last week and just what this means for subscribers and viewers everywhere. But before we get into the good stuff, guys, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. Make sure you follow on all the social media platforms and tap into the content we've got coming. I know the NFL draft is around the corner. We've got that on the docket, so much more on the docket. I can't wait for the NFL draft personally, because I just need to see what my Chiefs going to do. But that's not what we're getting into today. So let's hop right in. So let's break this down for what it actually is. The Department of Justice has opened an antitrust investigation into how the NFL structures and negotiates its TV and streaming brand deals, meaning how games are distributed across networks and streaming platforms as a whole. They're specifically looking at if the NFL is using its power to essentially limit competition and drive up prices for its consumers. Now that's the technical Google translation if you look it up, but if I break this down in layman's terms for me and you today, the government is basically asking, is the NFL making it unnecessarily difficult and furthermore expensive for fans to watch the sport? And are they doing it on purpose? Now if that answer is yes, that's a problem, because the NFL isn't just any business. This is a multi-million-dollar monopoly in the sport of football in the United States. And when one corporation controls that much of the market share, they're not allowed to abuse that power to try and squeeze consumers. So when the DOJ opens up this antitrust investigation, this is not just some casual review. This is them digging into contracts, media deals, exclusivity agreements, all of it. They're trying to get to the bottom of this, and what they're trying to understand is, A, are streaming deals structured to eliminate competition? B, are certain platforms getting unfair exclusive access? And C, are consumers being forced into higher cost subscriptions with no real alternative? Now the numbers say what the numbers say, but how exactly do they go about doing this investigation? I mean, they're going to be requesting internal documents, analyzing agreements between the NFL and its partners such as, Amazon with Prime Video, ESPN, NBC, CBS, and if there's enough data to show that there's something to be poked at, they could even be brought in for testimony. Now, if violations are found, this could lead to further lawsuits, ultimately force changes in how these deal structures are made, and financial penalties to follow behind it. So yeah, I must say, as much of a, heckling factor this is for fans, for the NFL, this is pretty serious. Now let's talk about the part we all feel, because this is where it really hits home, and I think this is why it was brought to light in the first place. If you wanted to watch a full slate of NFL games today, you need to have multiple services available to you. I'm talking cable or live TV for your intermarket platform. I'm talking streaming services such as ESPN, YouTube TV, NBC, CBS. You even need Peacock now, to catch a few of the primetime games. And God forbid you get NFL Sunday Ticket. That could cost hundreds in a subscription in itself. Now I know we had some estimates before as to how much these subscriptions cost. However, estimates reported by outlets such as Forbes magazine did an estimate of the average consumer spending anywhere between $600 and $1,000 a year on these subscriptions. Think about that. That $1,000 a year, and you are still watching ads. You're still paying ad revenue through all of that as well too. That was one of our biggest frustrations last year, and I swear to you, it's only gotten worse. And in some cases, like ESPN is a great one, you could pay for a subscription, But that doesn't mean you're going to get every game. You'd have to pay for the next tier of a subscription or a specialized subscription and watch games that are outside of your market. It is absolutely insane, especially for a sport as big as the game of football. So, sirs, what's this actually mean moving forward? Well, best case scenario, quite a few things. Less exclusivity in streaming deals, more centralized or simplified viewing options, lower overall costs for fans and viewers like yourself and I, and potential regulation as to how these games distributed to these different platforms. But let's be real. You and I both live in America. We know what this justice system is like. This is not going to be something that happens overnight. These investigations take time. And even if the DOJ does find issues, the NFL is a massive entity with very deep pockets. So if anything even does come to light, they're going to fight whatever comes their way with every dollar they've got, just to save their revenue model. Now, there's a worst case scenario here too, and simply that means that nothing changes. Or even furthermore, that changes happen so slowly, fans like, again, yourself and I don't even really notice the difference. But regardless of what happens, this is good news. This is validation. Because a year ago, we were sitting here talking about how broken the system is, how this model wouldn't last, and how consumers everywhere were infuriated with this new scale of watching games. And now we have the federal government, who has their ups and downs in recent days, is finally looking into it and saying, this could use some attention. Thanks to the political representative out of Utah, I don't remember his name, but he's the one that officially had submitted something to the DOJ for them to look into this. So shouts out to you. You are invited to the cookout. Now, as this will be a big deal for consumers, guys, we will definitely be keeping you guys roped into the conversation. Anything we do come across, anything we do find in this investigation, we will definitely be bringing it back to the channel, because these could be some very big changes we see unfold. I just hope that they're a little bit sooner than later, because if this is even a slight improvement for fans' viewership, it's a win. It's a win in the end in any format. But until then, you might still need 5 subscriptions just to watch your team lose on Sunday. But let us know what you guys think, man. Do you think the DOJ came to save the day? Can we expect some changes to happen in the near future? Is this another pipe dream that we're going to see hit the news articles and probably never hear about again? Drop it down in the comments below, because I don't like for this to be our new normal. But unfortunately, it's definitely become our new normal. Having multiple subscriptions, high-paying subscription costs, and still ads to watch no matter what tier you get. That's going to do it for this week, guys. Thanks for tapping into another episode of The Social Club. It has been Serg. It's been well. And until next time.